Hi everyone, this is Otatade Koje. Welcome to the Lunchbox Millionaire podcast and the Wealth Journal podcast. So I've decided to call it two things because not only are we on the Lunchbox Millionaire podcast, but we're also wealth journaling as well. So I wanted to open the floor up to a discussion, and I wanted to put a question out there to challenge many of us who are problem solving in our lives. One of the questions I wanted to put out there is, who do you want to become? Who do you see yourself as? Who are you modeling in your life? So many of us have visions of success. We have ideals of success. We have, we think about some of us think about the holidays, the fancy cars, the trips, the adventures, the houses, but a lot of these things, they will only come to light when when we um, we have that focus, and we have that drive, and we have that not just that discipline, but what I'm learning from a lot of the mistakes that I made when it came to enterprise was that consistency. I had a problem with not being consistent in certain areas in my life. I had a problem with bowing out of things too quickly, and I was learning that even though there were challenges out there, it was very important for me to learn to see the challenges through and face becoming who I was meant to be in order to conquer and see who I was to become. Now that's a strange sentence in itself, because many of us, we deal in the journey of shape shifting. We are consistently shape shifting. If you're a social butterfly and you're out there and you're networking, you are constantly shape shifting. You have several masks. You have several roles that you play, especially in business, because in order to connect, you have to associate yourself to different types of people. You have to step out of your comfort zone, align with different types of people, and you have to connect with different types of people who come from different backgrounds, who will engage with different types of topics, who will engage with different types of things. So what I learn, and what I'm starting to learn over time is that fear of rejection that we all have, not just in business but in life. It rarely ever goes away. It rarely ever disappears. For example, when I'm meeting my contacts for the podcast, or for networking, or to work on a business project, there is that initial nervousness. Will this concept come to light? Will this concept be 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 seen as valued? Will my views be valued? Will I see this to the end, or uh, another will this be another concept that I get really excited about, and when it gets to the middle, I find myself too challenged because all the excitement has run out and I've listened to all the critics. So there's so many things that we deal with when we're trying to venture into those I wouldn't say those shark infested waters of business, because I don't I don't believe that business is solely shark infested waters. I believe that there are a lot of people problem solving in business, and there are a lot of people who have been bold enough to not just sit on their asses complaining that there's a problem out there. They actually had the guts to get up and try and solve the problem. So I think there's a lot to learn. There's a lot that we are learning and we are growing with over time. Um, there's 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 so many things that come to mind when I think of my challenges in business. For example, one of my initial challenges I always thought would have been my disability, dealing with epilepsy, but I learned that one of my biggest challenges was facing myself when it came to business, and facing my fears about not being accepted in the world of giants, because everybody has this view about what it takes to be a packaged business person, what it takes to go through the journey of business and be seen as a business person, quote unquote, be seen as an entrepreneur. Um, I think I think with all this new technology and all this social media, the concept of an entrepreneur is changing. The concept of enterprise is changing. The game is shifting. The dynamics are changing. You know, you've got young people getting on social media and becoming influencers, and they're making a fortune at it. You've got all these wealth management courses, and people being able to produce products that can engage audiences and can help them manage their funds, but also bring in an an amazing income. You know, you've got podcasts that bring in a lot of subscribers. You've got tech hubs and marketing platforms. So there's a lot out there that's engaging people in the audiences and engaging different demographics. What I would like to say to anybody who's out there who is listening to my podcast, or who is trying to step out in boldness, but you've been told many things, you've been shot down several times, you've been put down, and maybe you're scared to take a step in to the right direction, or just a step into the light. Um, Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything is everything is a step at a time. To build a house is one brick at a time. And I would just say to you, what do you have at your disposal? What do you have? A pen? Do you have a pad? Then maybe you can start sketching out some of those ideas. Who do you know in your network? Who can you connect to that can introduce you to a business coach or an advisor? Who can you talk to? Who can advise and support you? Who can be your mentor? Who can be your guide? Who can introduce you to wealth seminars, and who can help you build up your network? Who can, you know, who can be your buddy as you go to all these networking events when you're just a little seedling, just building up your confidence and getting to know which type of player you are in the market. So what I'd say to you is, it's great to put your idea out there. I'd say protect your idea at first, secure it. A lot of people make the mistake of telling everyone what they're doing because they need that validation. I've made that mistake many a times. We're only human, but just over time you'll learn to trust yourself, and you'll learn to value your input, and value not just value your input, but value your output. Value what you put out there in the universe. Celebrate what you share. So, thank you for tuning into my podcast. Thank you for your time. This is the Lunchbox Millionaire, and thank you for tuning into my wealth journal.